What is going on, everybody? So today we're going to a brand new customer, which I've never been to their house before. I'm kind of anxious to see what's going on, but they called us because they're not very happy with their current service company, and the guy doesn't feel the tank is up to par and where it should be. So I'm interested to see what it looks like. I'm gonna pack up here in a second and go there, but first I want to show you around the shop and show you some like our brand new fish systems that we got in. I'm excited to use these. Get these all plumbed up. We just got them put together. Now we just got to get them plumbed. We have 2 of them. We're getting ready for the holiday season, and once these are set up, we're gonna get loads and loads of fish in, and we're gonna sell quarantined fish. That's still gonna be our main thing. But for the people that don't want quarantined and that just want, just regular fish and aren't worried about quarantine, I know there's a lot of you out there. We're still gonna medicate these fish. We're just not gonna do the full quarantine. We're gonna still do a medication, basically a conditioned treatment on these fish. So we'll give them their basic meds and stuff like that and observe them and watch them, but they will be for sale and they won't be fully quarantined, but they'll be a lot less pricier. As far as fish go, we have a nice little Bellis Angel here. We have a ton of Anthias in. These are all, and a Bellis Goby in the back there. Oh my God, I love that fish so much. These are all ready to be sold. They've all made it through their quarantine. These firefish, the little yellow bristletooth tang that's such a dope little fish. A yellow bristletooth tang is so cool. Down here we have a copper band butterfly, and I know everybody says these fish are really delicate, they're hard to keep. I completely understand that, but this one has made it through 6 weeks of quarantine, 6 weeks, and is now under observation for about a week. We'll make sure it's all good, but so far it's looking great. It's eating great. Got a little leopard puffer right there, and a fairy wrasse or some type of wrasse right there as well, all in the same quarantine system, quarantined together. Long-nosed hawkfish in the back, I believe there's a candy basslet way back there with a royal grandma. These guys are in their 2nd week of quarantine, so they're still getting their meds. And then over here we have a Bourbonius Anthias. This one is in the 2nd week of quarantine. It's currently doing formalin right now. It was struggling a bit the 1st week that we got it. It came in pretty rough, but it is definitely taking a turn and it's looking much better. I'm very happy, and it's starting to eat again. Another copper band below here, 2 more yellow Watchman gobies, some firefish in the back. A whole gang of orange skunk clownfish. Those are ready to go. I believe this is a Disjardini sailfin tang. It's a Disjardini sailfin tang. A little rough, got some scarring. It came in a little rough. A lot of these fish came in a little bit rough this go around, but that's okay. This one is under observation, so it's got about a week left of us checking it out. Should be ready by the end of the week. Little Naso tang in the back. Man, again, these fish came in rough, but that one's it's still here. So he's got 1 more week. Hopefully we can find a home really quick, because the sooner that thing is in a natural environment, the better. And then, like I said, we got a bunch of Anthias that are ready. Got another couple days on observation. And then up top, everybody's favorite seems to be the yellow chorus wrasse. Now I know why everybody loves these. It's because of that bright yellow color and tons of movement, and they're great at swimming around the tank, staying visible, and eating little pests and stuff throughout your aquarium. You got another Anthias, a Valentini puffer, and then back there we do have a lot more cool fish. Look at this Naoki wrasse. Oh my God, I love that thing so much. That is a pretty fish. Oof, one of my favorites. We have a lot more fish, but you can't really see them because they all are hiding behind the sponges. And I just did a bunch of water changes and I medicated them, and I've been in there messing around. So I don't want to stress them out too bad, because when they're in quarantine like this, that's not a good idea to do. And then over here in the big 75-gallon tank, we have a Moorish idol. Again, another fish that's really tough to quarantine. It's very just tough in general to keep. And this one is doing great. It's going on its 2nd week of formalin treatment. Another Valentini, 2 long-nosed hawkfish, a long-nosed butterfly fish, Bourbonius, and a Tamini tang, which Tamini tangs are very popular. Whoever gets these Bourbonius Anthias is gonna be one lucky person, because that is a beautiful fish. And they stay out. Look at him, he's coming right up to me. They're not a scared fish. They don't hide. They like to stay out. And then a little update on our nano display tank that we have here. Everything's going good so far, no worries here. We had problems with this chalice coral stinging things. We moved it over to the side. Probably gonna end up selling it because it's just getting way too big, but everything's growing fine. Got a little bit of green slime right there, whatever. And that chow stung right here, stung that lepo right there, but the lepto's coming back. You see it's got its little tentacles out looking to feed. Acros are all looking good, Setosa looking good. Really happy with the way this nano tank is continuing to do well. And eventually, we're gonna have to frag that monopore in the back because that Superman is just blending into that one and it's gonna take it all over. So I'm a little bit nervous about that, but a lot of fragging to do, which is a good problem to have. All right, so that's what we have going on at the shop. Just constantly doing work here, quarantining all our fish. It's very important that you quarantine fish. You get them from a place you trust that does a good quarantine regimen, or you quarantine them yourself at home. It's critical, and it's becoming more popular in the hobby, and I'm very happy to see that. But it's a lot of work, no lie, but it's totally worth it. And if you spend an extra $20 or $30 for a fish, it's worth it because, you know, if one fish gets in your aquarium and gets the rest of your fish sick, you're gonna lose a lot more than 30 bucks, I guarantee it. But anyways, the work continues here, but I gotta head out and I'm taking you to that customer's house right now. Let's go check out his aquarium. See you there. All right, so here is the aquarium and just walking in. So what we're dealing with now is you can see the tank took a bit of a slide. It's tons of coralline algae. So I think this right here makes the tank look worse than it actually is, just because there's coralline algae and algae growing on the front glass. But if you kind of go up top, it doesn't look terrible. I've yet to really get in there and see what we're looking at. I do see a bunch of Aptasia. Don't see a lot of fish. See some hair algae growing on the power heads over here. But I'm gonna scrape this glass off and so that way I can get a better look at what's going on inside. A bunch of pallies. Corals don't look too difficult. Seems like most are healthy, especially the soft corals, but let's go ahead and clean the glass, test, and let's see what we're looking at. All right, now that I got the glass cleaned here and we can see better inside, I'm noticing a lot of green algae, especially on the power heads, a bunch on the back wall, and there's a bunch of Aptasia in here. The coral look fine, but you can tell, like right here, this used to be a hammer coral, but that's a skeleton. Now, anybody who would sell you a bunch of snails or a fish to try to take care of this algae, it's not gonna work. Fish will not work with this algae. This is pretty tough stuff. And the only way to get rid of it is by good tank husbandry, getting your water chemistry right, water changes, and possibly a fluconazole treatment, which is what I think we're gonna do. And that will help a lot. I'm not so much concerned with the green algae as I am with all the Aptasia. What I'm gonna do about that, there's a couple options, but I gotta see which one makes the most sense. I'm curious here what the sand looks like. Is it dirty in there? Actually, the sand's actually pretty clean, it seems, for as old as it looks. Sand's not bad. I'm stirring it up. Not much coming out, but maybe if I stir over here. So even by the rocks, there's not a lot of detritus in the tank. So I want to look at the lighting schedule and see what's going on there. Also, I think the salinity is off in this aquarium. There's a little bit of stuff there, which is in effect. And then we have this automatic feeder, which is feeding pellets. And I think there's only a couple of fish in here, and I just think that we need to get off of that. I think that's probably helping not only the Aptasia grow like crazy, but the green hair algae. So I would like to see that automatic feeder off. Also, there's no need for a UV sterilizer. That's old anyways, it probably doesn't even work. But I'm gonna do a pretty good size water change and we'll go from there. But as far as detritus and stuff, it doesn't seem like the sand's not very dirty. Everything seems to be in the water column and on the rocks. So just gotta adjust those phosphates and excess nutrients in the tank and go from there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, do a water change, stir everything up, and net as much algae out as I possibly can. I don't wanna scrub the rocks because that's just gonna make the Aptasia way worse. Also looking at the filtration, a lot can be improved here. The water level when I came here was really, really low. And this is the ATO that was empty. And the tank was spitting bubbles every now and again, meaning that the water level was low in the return pump section, so it was sucking in air, which causes salinity to be really, really high. So the salinity in this tank is way off, which is obviously gonna mess with the aquarium too. So we're gonna go ahead and fill that up to where it needs to be, get the salinity right, fill the ATO up, make sure that's working. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here, and I'm not real excited about this ATO setup, but we'll address that in the future. It's right by an outlet too, scary stuff. Whew, okay. So now my impressions of this tank, the customer wants to know how they can make it look good again. To me, there's just way too much aptasia in this aquarium, and as far as the corals go, there's nothing really in here that's hard to obtain or that is that nice. We're gonna medicate the algae, we're gonna address the algae. I'm not totally worried about the turf algae and the hair algae. The tank does have potential, but honestly, with this much aptasia in the aquarium, and given that there's not like great corals in here, my main suggestion would be a restart. I would like to hear what you guys think, but I just think it's time for a restart. I don't know what the previous service company did to this tank or what type of meds they put in here, but I opt for a complete restart. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. I think we can do better.